Hello everybody, it's Mike and Denise Young. We're out for our walk, daily vigorous aerobic exercise. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get our free book, Live to 150 at liveto150.org. We're gonna do an article right now about sodium, specifically about a certain type of sodium that's not supposed to impact your blood pressure. I have a very hard time believing this, and that's why I wanted to get an article put together with some new research here from 2023 in June. And go ahead, Denise. Read it. You can read it to us.
What is fermented salt, and does it not increase your blood pressure?
Okay, that's it. Fermented. You guys ever heard of that? Fermented foods? Well, apparently there's also fermented salt. So it's a way to add salt or sodium to your food in an added way. And supposedly it's not supposed to hurt you, at least not in the way that other salts have done, which we've done a couple videos on now, which is raising your blood pressure, causing kidney problems and weight gain, right? Water weight gain. So let's find out.
Fermented salt is a type of salt that is created through the process of fermentation. Fermentation is an ancient technique of preserving food that is still used today to produce foods like wine, cheese, sauerkraut, yogurt, and kombucha. Fermented salt is made by mixing salt with water and allowing it to ferment for a period of time. During the fermentation process, beneficial bacteria break down the salt and create a unique flavor profile. Fermented salt is often used in cooking and is believed to have certain health benefits. In this article, we will explore the good and bad properties of fermented salt.
And the ugly.
And how it is prepared and its impact on human health. Advantages of fermented foods. Fermented foods have been associated with several positive health effects, including improved digestive health, stronger immunity, and increased availability of nutrients. Fermented foods are rich in beneficial probiotics and have been associated with a range of health benefits. Eating foods that have been fermented to make the intestine stronger and thus less at risk for intestinal illnesses. The consumption of fermented foods can also boost the immune system, as seen with kefir, an acidic beverage made by fermenting milk with grains. We don't recommend that because
it's dairy.
Dairy causes inflammation because it's an animal
and
protein.
Constipation.
And it's associated with prostate cancer, breast cancer, and all kinds of bad things.
Yeah.
Kefir is easily digested, but it also colonizes the intestines with microorganisms that help maintain a healthy immune response. Kefir has been used to treat tuberculosis and cancer, according to the United Nations University. Disadvantages of fermented foods. While fermented foods do offer certain health benefits, they do have some downsides. One of the main concerns with fermented foods is their high salt content. Fermented foods that are high in
It's
salt.
funny, yeah. It's funny because this is about fermented salt.
Yeah.
And the concern about generally with fermented foods is the sodium content. And I can attest to that from looking at sauerkraut, the labels, nutritional labels on stuff like sauerkraut. It's outrageous the amount of sodium that's present in those fermented foods like that.
You can make it without salt yourself.
Yes. I have had some, and it's very good.
Fermented foods
Very
that
hard to
are
find.
high in salt can lead to high blood pressure and other health problems. Because salt is used to both preserve the food and encourage the growth of good bacteria, many probiotic-rich foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and miso are also high in salt.
Loaded.
It is important to eat a balance of foods that are fermented with salt, like sauerkraut, and those that are low in salt, like non-fat yogurt or kefir.
So I'm guessing that the fermented foods that have salt in them have that form of fermented salt. So to get the fermented salt, you would extract it from the fermented food, so you're just left with that fermented sodium, right? I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, this is all kind of relatively new to me. If you know, let us know in the comments.
These choices will provide you with plenty of probiotics without excessive salt. The dangers of fermented foods. There are some dangers associated with consuming fermented foods. If too much salt is included in the fermentation process, all the bacteria, including the probiotics, will be killed.
Oh my God.
If too little salt is added, The bad bacteria will not be killed.
Really?
And the food will spoil.
Oh my God. Wait, so you got to eat it immediately. So the very short shelf life, which is fine. The shorter the shelf life, the longer your life in general. Just don't eat it when it's been hanging around too long.
Well, it's about putting the right amount of salt in the food while you're doing the fermentation process. If you do it wrong, you can injure yourself. I think my sister made a bad batch of kombucha once.
Really?
And it made her sick.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Let us know if you've done that in the comments, or if you know anybody that's done that before.
Additionally, unsafe fermented foods do exist, so it is important to know the things that can affect fermentation. There are 3 important factors that have a large effect on the fermenting process: salt levels, temperature, and hygiene. Fermented salt and blood pressure. Fermented salt is not different from other types of added salt when it comes to its impact on human blood pressure. Consuming too much salt, regardless of its form, can lead to high blood pressure and other health problems.
Regardless of its form.
It is recommended that adults consume no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, or 1,000 according to Mike.
Yeah. Well, I say 1,500 is the absolute maximum. So 1,000 is a real good goal.
2,300 is about the equivalent of 1 teaspoon of salt.
That's crazy. Think about that. You know you're getting too much salt. Everybody is getting too much salt.
Does fermented salt cause water retention? Consuming too much salt, regardless of its form, can cause the body to retain water. This can lead to bloating, swelling, and other health problems. It is important to monitor your salt intake and consume it in moderation to avoid these issues. The bioavailability of fermented salt.
All right, well, so the bottom line there is that fermented salt does not provide some magic, it's not some magic pill that you can just eat it and you're gonna get that taste bud explosion, and you're not gonna have any extra water buildup that's gonna cause high blood pressure or raise your blood pressure, right? According to what you just read, there is no difference. I just wanna make sure we zero in on that.
Yeah, it has the same health effects as salt. Bioavailability of fermented salt. Fermented salt is bioavailable, which means that it is easily absorbed by the body. This is because fermentation breaks down the salt and makes it easier for the body to digest. However, it is important to consume fermented salt in moderation to avoid the negative health effects associated with excessive salt intake.
Yeah.
So you'd think if it was easier to absorb, you'd want to eat less of it.
Yeah, exactly, yes, yeah.
In
You'd think.
conclusion, fermented salt is a type of salt that is created through the process of fermentation. While fermented foods do offer certain health benefits, they do have some downsides. One of the main concerns with fermented foods is their high salt content. Fermented salt is not different from other types of added salt because it comes to its impact on human blood pressure.
Because
It's
what?
making me walk up a hill and talk at the
Sorry.
same time.
Yeah.
Consuming too much salt, regardless of its form, can lead to high blood pressure and other health problems.
Okay.
It is important to monitor your salt intake and consume it in moderation to avoid these issues. Fermented salt is bioavailable, which means that it is easily absorbed by the body. However, it is important to consume fermented salt in moderation to avoid negative health effects associated with excessive salt intake.
All right, so our takeaway, please let us know your comments, is that fermented salt is nothing special other than it's fermented, and it might have a few benefits of fermentation, but all the drawbacks of sodium, right? Of added salt, all the drawbacks of added salt.
Yeah.
Except for maybe it's a little more bioavailable. That's it. But
Yeah.
like Denise said, it may be a bad thing because then you
I'm
get
gonna save the juice from my sauerkraut and reuse it because it's fermented salt. It's easily absorbed.
yeah, but it's don't.
It's not crushed rocks.
Yeah, it is crushed rocks. It's a fermented version of your rocks. But we don't have to go up this way. We can turn around actually. So anyway, that's it. That's our conclusion. Let us know if you have any other research that shows any different, that actually fermented salt is somehow okay to consume, whereas other forms of added salt are not. Because everyone agrees, added salt is all bad, basically, except for your taste buds. We don't care about the taste buds right now, or really with any of what I'm talking about. I don't care about your taste buds. I'm not listening to them. I want to hear about what what the rest of your body says about it. So added salt's a bad thing, period, including fermented salt. That's the conclusion. So look forward to reading your comments. Please give us a like and a thumbs up, like, same thing. Also, please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.